What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another video. Today we're gonna start with a dad joke, and it goes like this. You guys can read it on the screen if you're seeing it. If not, listen up. My wife screamed, "You haven't listened to a single word I've said, have you?" I was taken aback. What a weird way to start a conversation. Alright guys, that's the dad jokes for today. So my wife is looking at me like she wants to strangle me. But those of you that are married, I'm sure you guys at some point in time have had one of these weird conversations as well. Alright, that's the dad joke. Second thing is some conspiracy theory or whatnot. But I was watching this video about Russians firing at some spinning UFOs. Some people were saying that it was their own helicopter, and that was so weird. It was a whole bunch of, let me see, so I don't want to get copyrighted, but see a whole bunch of shooting at it. Not one, okay, not a single missile or bullet or whatever hits the thing. So quite interesting. But nevertheless, some weird things. And you're probably thinking, well, why are you talking about this when we talk about crypto? Because this world is crazy, guys, okay? So I have a little bit of conspiracy theorism going on over here, and then some dad jokes to lighten things up, because things are bad in crypto world, right? Yeah, some crazy stuff going on, but we'll get through it. This video hopefully gives you a little bit of hope, and we sure need some. A few days ago, on April 13th, Mantra, which I know maybe some of you guys know about, pretty much completely crashed. $6 billion, or like 5.5 billion, completely wiped out in about 30 minutes. So that's pretty crazy, right? A lot of people were swearing by Mantra. The Mantra team is saying that they had no idea, but ultimately at the end of the day, really nobody knows what really happened behind closed doors. Here we have Secret Dev that posted this. It's a great reminder of what makes coins like Pepecoin and Dogecoin so unique. They were launched at a time when the market was much less money obsessed and were distributed fairly and organically via proof of work mining. Pepecoin was mined on its own L1 in 2016 and later migrated to ETH in 2023. Cabal coins, exchange coins, KOL coins, and VC coins. And of course, we'll add in here also celeb coins are a game of musical chairs where most of the other players know each other and are colluding against you. The music may play for a while, but eventually it will stop. Meanwhile, the OG Peppercorn will keep on rolling along just as it has since 2016. And so, yeah, guys, it's just wild west out here. A lot of crazy things going on, just like the crazy world that we live in, right? And yeah, so I wanted to start with that. And all right, now we're gonna look at this post from FBB4, and this is probably what's gonna take a little bit of our video time. Okay, maybe I'll just make it quick, but volatility equals opportunity. What's one thing most investors say they want but can't actually stomach when it shows up? That's volatility. If you're watching your meme coin portfolio bleed out this week, you're just like everyone else. But here's the truth. You need this volatility. It's not just part of the game. It is the game. Most people are shocked by how quickly their coins can dip 40 to 70% in a few days. But think about it logically. If your coin can 20x in a single month, it must also be able to drop 80% in a single week. Volatility is the price you pay for asymmetric upside. There is no such thing as a 100x opportunity without extreme drawdowns along the way. Every massive win in crypto is paved with red days that would break most investors mentally and emotionally. And this right here is just, crypto Twitter is just completely plagued with a lot of emotional and mental investors, I guess you could say. This is why most people don't make it. Right here, guys. This is why most people don't make it. They want the reward, but not the risk. They want the upside, but not the cost of entry. Here's the truth. Volatility is the feature that gives you leverage over the market. Because if you can survive it, and better yet, buy into it, you're already ahead of 90% of the market participants. This is because most people panic during the dips. They let the market tell them what their investment is worth, as if the last traded price is the final verdict on long-term value. So they sell bottoms, chase tops, and repeat the cycle until their conviction is completely eroded. They don't lose because their thesis was wrong. They lose because they outsourced their conviction to the chart. Wow. That's pretty deep right there. They outsource their conviction to the chart. But the market doesn't reward emotional traders. That is a fact. I'm testament of that. It rewards those who can separate price from value and act accordingly when it's hardest to do so. But the ones who win big in crypto are those who do the opposite. Remember, I was telling you guys this a couple of videos ago, playing that contrarian move. They think big picture. They remember their conviction. They play the cycle. Volatility isn't something to run from. It's the only reason your small cap coin can turn into generational wealth. Man, FBV4 here just came and pretty much just laid it down, right? And my thing is, I get it. We're looking at dollar values, in our screen just dwindling down, getting destroyed. And it is disheartening, to say the least. But how long were you planning on holding, your investments, right? One of the things that he says here, long-term value. Now, I get it. I get it. Some of us, okay, I was under the impression that this was going to be practically the same as every other cycle. And though I still believe that we should have a very decent 2025 because, famous last words, right? This time is different. That's what a lot of people say. And then cycles, they tend to do cycle things, right? And rinse and repeat. Because it is just the whole deal about reading people's emotions, right? And right now, everybody is so completely distraught and destroyed with this space that I would not be surprised if we start seeing some type of reversal, to the upside. But then again, charts are going to say one thing, and and they're going to continue to say whatever story they want to say, right? The charts, until they don't. And then invalidation comes in, and then bears get wrecked, and well, bulls thrive again. But I mean, also something that we cannot be ignoring, and it is the fact that macro things are not helping, right? Especially the elephant in the room, right? Tariffs. That's been the wrench in the system. That's pretty much just destroying everything. I mean, for now, right? But something has to be cooking. I mean, Trump must have some plan under his belt that he is, figure out that it's going to work out. Otherwise, I'm not entirely sure why he would do this. Can he be crazy? Absolutely. He could be completely crazy, and but maybe the genius is behind that crazy. Who knows? I am very optimistic that that is the case. Hopefully for my own bags, but again, going back to what FP4 is saying here is that you want to be in this game, right? You got to be able to stomach it. And if you're here and you want generational wealth, it's not going to be handed to you. Sometime last summer, I was saying some of my videos when Pepecoin had dropped like 20% or 30%. People were going crazy. Maybe a little bit more, I'm not sure. But people were going crazy, like, oh my goodness. And now, of course, we are like 80, 90% in the red, and what I was saying back then still holds true today. The market is not just going to hand you life-changing wealth. You have to be able to, survive the game. Every fiber in your body will be tested. And boy, there's so many people that have completely capitulated, and there's some others that are just waiting for maybe $1 or $1.50 Pepecoin to completely get out as well. Some others are just completely wrecked. But again, this is everybody's portfolios are not looking too good, right? Because of course all this came out of nowhere. The bears are going to tell you, yeah, no, it didn't come out of nowhere. We saw the signs. Yeah, it's hindsight's 2020. But they're going to be like, no, we saw it in the charts, this and that. Yeah. Just like the bears will continue to see that Bitcoin is going to go to zero until it does, and it turns around and it wrecks them too. Okay. And all the alts also wreck them as well. So, I mean, that's just the way the market works. It wrecks both sides. And right now is the time for the bears to, sing their song. But eventually things will turn around and the bulls will have another laugh. Hopefully sometime this year and for a few months where we can make life-changing wealth. If that is not the case, right, and this year turns out to be a bust, guys, do you need the money tomorrow? Do you need the money in a month? Do you need it in 3 months? I mean, if that's the case, then maybe you shouldn't have put that money in the market in the first place, right? I mean, you got to be willing to lose it all. I know we say that, but ultimately we definitely don't mean that. But, you know, well, you need the money in 2, 3 years, then, that may be a better play. In my case, I don't need the money, right away. And so, I'm a long-term investor, and I keep saying it in every video. By the way, none of this is financial advice, just bringing some things to light, and maybe make you guys think a little bit more about, that you gotta keep present while you're here. If you are here with no goals in mind, absolutely, this is gonna completely crush you. If you are here with some goals in mind, but with somebody else's conviction borrowed, you're gonna get wrecked. Like it's a mental game. But it definitely plays a lot with your emotions. If that weren't so, right? The what's it called? That cheat sheet from Wall Street, right? When we see the rising and the falling, it's all emotions. It's all sentiment, and that part of humans is being completely exploited because we tend to be part of the flock. And the only way out of this is not being part of the flock. You have to, at some point in time, become an opposite player, right? Because that tends to be the game that the markets play. And, the markets, they just tend to go against the masses, and inflicts the most amount of pain in either direction. But anyhow, that is FBB force volatility equals the opportunity that we were looking in crypto. And there was one more. Was there one more? No, I thought there was one more post. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, there was one more. Yeah. And then look at Phantom. Phantom posting this Windows. Okay. The screen saver, or the background screen. Right, and we know this is the Pepe coin. I know this is Windows, right? But it just happens to be the Pepe coin. What's it called? Oh my goodness, the pepecoin.io page. It's like my brain is like foggy today. Yeah. So all you guys that are Pepe coin holders, you know that this is part of the background of the web page for Pepecoin. And this is the other thing that I wanted to share. Alex Becker here says all you need to do is buy boring good mid-low cap AI and RWA alt and log off to get turbo rich here. I mean, yeah, this is true. But at the same time, you got to add Pepecoin here, right? Good, very good memes with utility. It's never been this easy. People are just finding any reason they can to fumble this. Silly. Stop thinking so much. But yeah, I mean, this was the whole thing that, that kind of resonated with me. And it is the the fact that we tend to get very antsy and nervous and looking at our wallets and seeing, the numbers going down, and we get completely emotional and we sell, we realize our losses. And then, as FBV4 said, then we tend to buy the top. It's just how it is. And I'm not the only one. I'm sure every single person is the same way. When we start seeing a project just completely going crazy, going up, we want to buy it. We want to buy, we want to buy, we want to buy. It's just our human nature, just, that psychic. It just wants to, join the crowd. I mean, this thing is going to go and it's never going to stop. And most of the time when we do that, we get completely wrecked, right? So, but when we see things going down, we don't want to touch it, even with a 10-foot pole. So, keep those things in mind, right? But of course, none of this is financial advice. Got to do what you got to do, right? Fear and greed index is at 30 right now, so it's creeping up. But even though things are not, they're pretty much the same as where we left it off last week, right? Let me refresh this just to make sure we have the right number. And Bitcoin's $85,000, Ethereum 1590 about, and Solana 134. Solana not long ago, right, was sitting at like $98. So Solana little by little is creeping up. And look at this, last 7 days, 20%. Very nice to see. Let's take a look at the memes and let's see what is going on over here. And of course, a lot of lagging, prices, very, very bland. But still, in the last 7 days, we still see some good movement, with Farcoin being one of those, moving quite decently. Let's see, Brett also doing some really nice move here. And Popcat, very nice, 49% in the last 7 days. What else? Mog, Turbo, okay. So we're seeing some projects turning green, which is nice to see. And what else? What else do we have? Okay. And then Peppercoin is here. About 45 cents, 46 cents for Peppercoin. And this is really, really interesting to see, right? Because I am wondering what is going on over here. Are people just, selling because of what? I am thinking that maybe people are selling because maybe they're thinking that Kekspace is not going to be launched in 3 days. Because if you guys didn't know, yes, Kekspace should be launching on April 20th, which is this Sunday. And if that is the case, then that may be huge for Peppercoin, right? But maybe some people are pricing in right now that Kekspace is not going to be launched, which actually I think it brings an opportunity to maybe add some more to my own bags. Because 45 cents, 46 cents, it's not bad at all. I think that actually is an opportunity there to pick some more cheap and super rare peppercoins. Okay, so that is Peppercoin. Let's take a look at, look at Ethereum in the red a little bit. Still Chunk is up 5%. GameStop is nice, up 8.26%. Base AI also a little bit in the red, 47 cents. And let's see, Kekistan at 1.66%. So yeah, so there's something here that I want to show you guys that I was looking at, because somebody mentioned this. I think it was Maestro on Twitter that mentioned that there some people are unstaking. So three transactions of 100,000 Pepper coins. Oh no, wait a minute. But this was, oh, never mind. Maybe I'm looking at this wrong. However, he is right, because I believe this was at like 10,400,000 at some point in time. And so, but anyways, nevertheless, there is one person here that looks like they got their 100,000 Pepper coins back. They unstaked, right? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 people have unstaked so far in the last 6 weeks. 7 weeks. Somewhere around there. So in the last 2 months. Okay. Here's another thing that I was looking at, and it is what people have been burning, and nobody has burnt anything in the last 9 days. This could mean one of two things, I'm thinking. And after this, we'll finish up, guys, and I'll let you go. And I think the first thing is that maybe people are waiting for Kekspace to maybe do anything else with their Pepe coins. That may be one thing, because maybe they're waiting to see if based AI is actually the bridge or whatever, if it has anything to do with Kekspace. Not entirely sure. I don't think it does, but who knows? But that may be option number one. And option number two, it may be that maybe people have truly lost faith in based AI, and they think that it is complete vaporware, and Committer has not been helping the situation at all. I mean, every time that he comes out and either shares a note or posts anything on Twitter, based AI just completely starts ripping up. But I cannot understand what he is doing. What I am deciding, to believe, which, it is more faith-based, I guess you could say, is that maybe, everything right now seems to be pointing that, he has nothing going on, and, maybe it is a scam, and that's a reality that we have to, entertain, and we have to, bring to the table. The other thing is, could it be that maybe they do have such incredible technology, and they know that what they have will change the game, and because they know that, they're willing to just chill out, and if you're holding all the cards, you release whenever you want. You pretty much do whatever you want because you know that it's game over, right? But maybe that's the case. That's more far-fetched than anything else, because we You know, all we have is committer just spitting a good game, but nobody really saying anything. And he did say, like, what, almost 2 weeks ago now, that last week he was going to release, you know, some like small code to, let me see, we have it here, that he was going to release. Let's see, let's look at committer's notes. And committer's note is all the way over here. And so, you know, a minimal prototype. And so, but nothing has been released. Again, this was April 4th. And we are almost 2 weeks later from that last note. Okay. And so, yeah, guys, if you want to sell, you sell. If you want to hold, you hold. I am choosing to hold. Little by little, everybody's faith is, you know, being chiseled at, you know, and I hope not, but at the end of the day, hopefully there's going to be a community left behind to pick the pieces. Now, what is really encouraging, I have not looked too much into this, but there's a lot of cool ideas coming out, you know, within the community that are, you know, making, I guess, based AI still relevant and, you know, I guess okay to hold. So I know we cannot sell those rewards that we receive, but at least if you want to buy some NFTs, you know, you still can. Either these folks that are making these NFTs and doing these projects, either they are complete chads or they're completely crazy, right? And they're selling their art for something that's gonna be irrelevant and meaningless and worthless. Or, man, they're getting a whole bunch of base tokens, you know, now, and they're going to just completely run like bandits when everything, you know, falls into place. One or the other. Hero or zero, right? Anyways, guys, try to shift your focus from the price action. Think longer term. Let's hope that all this, what's it called? Tariff situation hopefully gets settled, and, well, maybe we have a better tomorrow. Some stories, you know, are coming out that maybe some things are, you know, taking a turn for the better, but we'll see. The biggest fishes in the pond is the US and China, and man, that continues to heat up. So in the meantime, just keep laser focused, understand why you're here. If you are in this game, okay, if you want to be a part of this game, you have to be able to stomach it, and that is the bottom line. Guys, love you all. Kek friends, see y'all in the next video. Bye bye.